All I really focused on was hitting Success Club 10. That was the only number that I focused on. So basically, to hit Success Club 10, you need to help 5 people a month. And so that was the prize that I was looking for. And then it just kind of grew. Like I would hit 10, and then the next month I hit 12, and I wanted to beat that. But Success Club 10 was my no matter what. And slowly but surely, that's how I started to grow my business. The only other thing other than Success Club 10 is, at the time, the term discount coaching meant nothing. Like it didn't even exist at that point. And so we had to reach out to people and invite to the actual coaching opportunity. So when I invited to coaching, it was always just the opportunity. And I think that's what helped me grow, was because right from the beginning, whenever I didn't invite like that, it was for business builders. And granted, not all of them turned into business builders, but Success Club 10, and then recruiting coaches. And I think at that time, my goal was like 1 or 2 a month. So nothing too crazy.
Right. Yeah, I think that's my biggest hurdle right now. It's just, I'll post all day about what I'm doing. It's a challenge to kind of like push myself to just invite for coaches, because I don't know that I know a lot of people that are wanting to do what I do, but I know there are because I was there. So yeah. I just need to push. Dropped my phone.
How long have you been a coach for?
Who, me?
Yeah.
February 4th. So 3 months now, is it? Yeah.
I will say,
March,
I was
April, May.
Just talking to a coach that joined like February 14th or something. And I will say it gets easier. And I don't know if the other coaches, leaders on this call would agree with me, but in the beginning, you have no follow-up list, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're just inviting. If you consistently invite people, your follow-up list is going to grow, and follow-ups is where people actually commit. So my tip to you would just be invite as many people as you can and build that follow-up list. You want a follow-up list a mile long. That's a good thing. And then eventually that's where you'll start to work from, and that's where people will start to commit. And like the people you invited in February will join you in June, but they'll eventually join you. And right. The other coaches, you happen to, what did you guys focus on when you first started?
I courted Olga from October, and she didn't sign till February
January 4th. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say, remind yourself of that. Like when you're talking to coaches, put yourself in your shoes when Kate first reached out to you. Like you didn't sign up right away, so your coach probably won't, and that's okay. Like it'll be on their own time, as long as you're understanding and constantly inviting more people.
Right. And I think I got stuck in like talking to the same people and following up with the same people. And then the new people weren't getting my focus. So now I'm trying to push myself out of there. So that's good. All right. Yeah. Success Club. That's a given. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Do the other leaders want to jump in, or are there any other questions? I see Aubrey in the chat. She said, how do you gals find people to join? I add people daily, but maybe I'm adding the wrong people because I'm getting nowhere. Does someone else want to take that one?
I will. Are you talking to them, or are you just adding them? If you're not talking to them, like you've got to talk to them in order to build a relationship so that they can even be a possibility. Katie, what do you think?
I agree, and honestly, I found that my best coach potentials and the people that I'm finding that actually want to work the business, it's easier for me to invite through Instagram, because there I can specifically search like hashtags to find people who will most likely be interested in the opportunity. On Facebook, it takes a ton of relationship building and stalking people's pages to like find a reason or an in to message them and invite them to the opportunity. So for me, when I do my invites every day, I've been coach inviting from Instagram and challenge group inviting from Facebook, because for me, it seems like that's just the way it's working the best for me and the way I'm finding my coaches and my challengers. It's kind of split.
Somebody needs to mute.
Okay, I muted everyone. Marissa says, I have that same question and problem. Awesome, thank you. My speaker doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I think what Kay said, you just have to talk to them. one of my new coaches I was just talking to before this, and she said that she's so proud of herself because she's expanding her network and she's still hearing a ton of no's. And so I showed her I call it my relationship tracker, where I just track my new contacts, and then I move them over to a tab where I engage with them, and then I move them to a non-Beachbody conversation tab, and then it's an invite. And when she saw that, she was like, oh, I'm just adding people, engaging with them, and then going in for the invite. Like, there's really no relationship there. So make sure you're talking to them and building some sort of connection, because it's easier to say no and ignore you if they don't know you. It's harder to say no if they at least know your name and, what the name of your dog is or something.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of the questions was, what if I've got 90% of my messages going without a response? Well, first of all, keep posting. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing your workouts. Keep being consistent, because today I signed a girl as a coach who's been watching me for 1 year. I sent her a message May of 2015 and asked her to join one of my challenge groups, my very first one. I hadn't followed up with her or anything because I actually know her, and I was just like, I'm just going to leave that one. But she messaged me and she said, okay, I'm in. I've been watching you for a year and I want what you've got. And yeah, so she bought her challenge pack today and we're going to get rocking. Keep posting.
And I want to elaborate on that a little bit too. When I find that I have people who aren't responding to like constant follow-ups about like challenge groups or coaching, I start bringing it back to just the relationship. And I take a second just to, ask them about an event that I saw them post, like on their profile page, like a trip they went on or something they did with their kids. And I kind of take it back to the relationship so that I can get back to having them actually respond to me, and so they don't feel like I'm just constantly pestering them only to talk, about my challenge group with the coaching opportunity. And I found that that's brought a ton of people back into the game and actually helped me get some people started.
I have the exact same experience as Katie. Like, I get send 400 messages that say, hey, do you have any questions about my group? I'd love to have you in. And they're going to ignore everything that I say. But if I ask them about their dog or their kids or prom pictures or anything like that, they're going to start a conversation with me based off of that 1,000 times more than they will the other follow-up-y canned messages. So, and I am a big Katie Shingler fan. She did a team call last year, probably this time of year, about how she invites and how she doesn't invite. And she did this whole team call about it. And I've shared it with my team, and I think I've shared it with some of Kate's team. But it's a really good call on how, if you can find it on the Luxe YouTube page is where it is, but about how she builds relationships and gets people to come to her based off of likes and comments and non-Beachbody related conversations in general. And to me, that makes a lot of sense, and I use it all the time. I am a commenter, I'm a poster, and I use Asana not just as a method to keep track of who I'm messaging, but when I send out messages to new people, I will automatically mark them to follow up with the next day. So when I see their name, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at their page and I'm going to comment on something, and I'm going to make friends in that way too, so that I'm not just in their message box. A lot of people don't have Messenger. Like, there was that freak out, what was it, last year, that everyone got rid of Messenger because Facebook was going to like steal your identity or something. And so, I mean, I know a ton of people that took it off their phones and don't use Messenger at all. So, I mean, other forms of contacting them through just regular likes and comments is a great way to make friends too.
Agreed.
Yeah. I would say the same for me too. I think I know this is bad, but I didn't invite at first when I first started, and I hit diamond without inviting a single soul. It was all based off of relationships, just commenting, liking, interacting. So I recently just started inviting, because your business will come to a standstill if you're not inviting. But the invites have been based off of relationships still, and I still get most of my business as people, they come to me mostly still. So I just, like they said, the relationship thing is huge. you're inviting, but in a different way. You're just building the relationship, you know, welcoming them to you.
And I kind of totally agree with what everyone has said, but for me, I've lived and breathed inviting since day one. Like, that's what I was told to do. Not only was I told to do that, but I was very much under the, I think, incorrect assumption that, or mindset that I didn't want my family and friends to have to purchase from me to prove that I could be successful. So I like specifically did not invite my family, didn't even really tell them what I was doing, did not inform my best friends of what I was doing. I was like only reaching out to my cold market, which was tough, but I mean, my cold market has been my growth, and that's how I've kept growing. And I think it's also good to know that being ignored is fine. You know, people are still watching you. If you message them, you're more likely to come up on their newsfeed anyways. So being ignored is fine. Don't rule them out. And just like Kate said earlier tonight, I got a message today from somebody that I invited to a group in January of 2015. She ignored my message, and she reached out to me today wanting to know more about the ultimate reset. So they're still watching, and I think it's okay to have people ignore you as long as you keep track of them. Don't completely rule them out, but that's normal. Like, all of us get ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Different topic maybe? Oh, I actually had a question from Mallory who can't join. But her main question was how to attract coaches that want to work the business. So does anyone want to jump in on that one?
I guess I will. I got a few from my challenge group, and then I also got a few by sharing Beachbody success stories. So if you Google or if you YouTube Beachbody success story, you'll come across Amy Silverman's story, story by Crystal Carmetz, which was Crystal Bland, Tulin Emery, and you know, I just say, hey, I find this to be really inspiring, and I think that you could really take off with this business. Tell me what you like about this video. That opens the door for a pretty good conversation.
I have two ways that I find business working coaches. One way is like UK. I feel like some of my best coaches start as challengers and they have a really great experience, and me ensuring that they see success causes them to want to move forward in their journey and start doing what I'm doing, because they can't help but share now that they've seen the results. So I've gotten quite a few coaches from that. Another place that I've gotten coaches is I've noticed that my little jabs that I put out every single day, not the big like hooks, you know, the join my team because of this life of freedom, but just the tiny little things. You know, I talk about being home with my kids. I talk about trips I've earned. I talk about just any of the rewards that I get from being a coach, talking about bills that got paid, credit cards that got slashed. I feel like those little jabs, and I try to like vary the variety so that I hit home with different people. But I feel like those have really helped bring people to me, because they'll be like, you know, I see you all the time home with your kids and I just want that so bad, or, you know, with a debt or, you know, income. And I found that those two things are the biggest things so far that have brought in coaches for me.
The only thing I would add to that I do to get people to actively work the business, and I feel like I could say this a million times because I'm always so surprised at the people who don't do this, but invite people to the coaching opportunity. Like, so many of my downline coaches are like, where are these coaches that you get that are working the business? And like, I invited them. If you invite to the discount coaching opportunity, you'll get a discount coach. If you invite to the coaching opportunity and talk about the benefits of coaching and what it's done for you and what it can do for them, you'll get someone that's going to push for that. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Don't invite them to a challenge group. Invite them specifically to the coaching opportunity. Any other questions? Marissa says, when you invite someone to the coaching opportunity and they say no, do you offer them to join your group? For me, it depends on what their reason is. If they say no because they don't have the time, I'll usually keep going with coaching and say, you know, coaching only takes about an hour a day. We even have a document that's called Power Hour to help you stick to that. But you can work, you know, 30 minutes one day and 30 minutes 2 days later. It's totally up to you. So time commitment, I still push coaching, and I just say, like, when you have time, I'll reach back out to you, and I'll reach back out to them the next month no matter what. The only time I'll really mention a challenge group is if they feel like they're not ready physically to become a coach. And even still, my response to that is, I totally understand, but just so you know, the most inspiring and some of the most successful coaches we have are those that have 100 pounds to lose or 50 pounds to lose. So don't be afraid to share your journey along the way. But if you'd like to start off with your journey, I can help you with that in my next online fitness group. It's really the only time I do a plug for the fitness group. Anyone else?
I think another thing that really helps to get working coaches is to hit your goals, is to hit your success club, is to hit your success club all-star, is to hit ranks and stuff like that. Because my recognition posts, like I got the 3-star qualifying recognition post this past week, I got over 200 friend requests accepted or sent to me that weren't coaches within a 48-hour period. Like, I was like, holy shit. So I really think that, you focusing on your success club and you focusing on hitting your rank advancements and things like that will bring those people that really want to work the business to you.
I forget which group it was, but it was one that Raina did, where it, like, Amy Silverman was in there. It was like a top 10. It may have been like a Success Club push group. And one of the things that Amy Silverman said, one of the challenges of the day, was to promote yourself. And that was just like crazy, because I feel like I share my lifestyle, but rarely do I ever say, yeah, I have an awesome team, or yeah, like I hit my goals every month. I should be proud of that. And so when I did that, I forgot what I chose, but think of something that you guys are proud of on your team. Even if you have, I forget what the requirement to be in here is, but if you have 4 coaches, that's awesome. You're growing a team, and you should be proud of that and post about it. Like, toot your own horn and boost yourself about how proud you are of building that team, or, whatever you think of that you want to recognize, because people will see that and they'll want to be a part of it. So don't be afraid don't wait for your coach to do it, or don't wait for the April Success Club leaderboard, because people don't even know what that is anyways. So toot your own horn and, think of everything you do well, or even the person and the coach you want to be and traits you have now that you're growing. Post about that. I mean, I think sharing your business goals is awesome. Like, people want to know what you're doing and be a part of it. Any other questions? And you can also unmute yourself if you want to, instead of chatting in the box, if you want. Good. I'm glad, Cassandra. And we actually have the Luxe call in 6 minutes. And that's also Q&A. So if you're hopping on there, then you'll get more of this. I guess if there's no more questions, we can end early and then hop on the other call in a couple minutes. Sound good?
Yeah, think of anything. Think of some questions. I know you have them. Ask us on the next call.
Yeah, perfect. All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on, and we'll see you shortly.